Alright, so the first thing I want to do before I create the base is make the part body the in-work object. This window is called the contextual menu, and how you get the contextual menu to show up is you right click on the part body. You'll notice that part body is not underlined, the geometrical set is underlined. If I try and create a sketch, it's going to put it in the geometrical set, which would be incorrect. So we do not want the sketch in the geometrical set. I want it in the part body. I'm in the sketch currently. To get out of the sketch, I'm going to use this icon in the feature called X App. It means exit the Sketcher workbench. So I'm going to exit. Again, I want to set a sketch in the part body. So the part body must be underlined. In order to get the part body underlined, I'm going to contextual menu on the part body. That is a right mouse button click. If you have a 3 mouse button, one left mouse button, one right button, and one dial in the middle is what I'm currently using. I'm going to hit Define in Work Object. So in your contextual menu, you select the Define in Work Object, and it will underline the part body. This will enable me to create a sketch. I'm going to select the XY plane here and select the Sketch tab right here, and it takes me to the sketch plane. Now what I find odd, by the way, I'm using my middle button to move this side to side. Okay, so if I put my middle button here and I hold it down, that's your dial, and I move this, it moves it left and right and up and down. So I'm just going to move this around to make room. Okay, also under the tab View, you have the pan button, which will do the same thing. This time my left button click, and it has that little fist of fury there. It allows me to move this axis around side to side and up and down. The X currently is pointing down and the Y is pointing to the right. Normally X would be pointing to the right and Y would be pointing up. Or H, which is your horizontal, should be going horizontal, and V should be going vertical. So V should be going straight up and down. So to fix this, we're going to hit normal to view in the features. All I have to do is click it once. It sets the V vertical. But it's weird to me because X is going in the negative direction. I want X to go the positive direction, so I'm going to hit it again, and it moves X horizontal and positive, Y is vertical and positive. What I'm going to do here is just slide this out of the way, and I'm going to create a simple rectangle by going into the Sketch tab and using the rectangle feature. I'm going to select a point at the 1 and 1 position. So we're not going to draw on the axis. We're going to start at the 1 and 1 position. You'll see I have a tool palette. If you have 2 monitors, it very likely could be on the second monitor or buried underneath one of your other windows. So you might have to look and find it. But under Tool Palette, it's telling me my position currently is at 1 and 1. When I select with my left button that 1 and 1 position, it will open up the tool palette to allow me to adjust a width and a height. So I can come up here and highlight the width or double click it and change that to, let's go 5 and hit tab. And then for a height is at 0, I'll type in 3 and hit tab. Not only will it create the rectangle, but it will automatically put in constraints, which will allow me to edit that if I wanted to. I'm going to leave it at that and hit exit. So we've created a sketch, and now we're going to exit the workbench, and you can see we've got a sketch. Now, let's say I wanted this to be longer in this direction. All I have to do is double click it in here. It'll take me right back. Okay? So if I want, I could double click the 5 and change it to a 3, and double click the 3 and change it to a 5. And then again, to get out of the Sketch Workbench application, you can hit the Exit App found in the bottom row of the features. So I'm going to exit this app, and you can see this rectangle has changed its orientation. Okay, I just clicked off the part so it's no longer highlighted. The The part body, again, must contain the sketch that I just created. You want the sketch to be highlighted, so if you've clicked off of it, make sure to click on it to make it active. The first feature we're going to learn in the sheet metal workbench is how to create a wall, and it's very simple. You click this icon and you say OK, and what it does is it creates the plate based on that thickness that we set up here in my sheet metal parameters. Do you remember how I got this to come on? I simply double clicked it. Okay, so if I change this to 1/32 and hit tab and hit OK, it's now a much thinner piece. If I double click this and change it to a 1/2 inch and hit tab and say OK, you'll notice this part is much thicker. Okay, it's automatically linked to my parameters. So let's change this back to a 1/16 of an inch. Did you forget what the decimal was already? Don't worry, it already knows. You just let it calculate it for you, 1 divided by 16. So that is how we set our base, or what's known as the wall. Okay. I'll go on to the next video. Step 2 will be to create a flange.